Hello, Greens. Thank you for joining us tonight's broadcast brought to you by Fifth Dimension. Alright, had a secret mission today. It didn't go so well. So I'm going to try for next week. So Thursdays is secret mission day. Eventually I'll make it public of what the hell it is, but I can't do it until something works. So today, last week was a failure, this week is a failure, and that's the way it goes. So it has to do with the alien stuff, but I can't go into details until I guess on the. Anyway, I'll see what happens. So yeah, energy is not so great, but that's okay. All right, so Area 51. Some people are. I'm gonna dive into that here and there. Bringing somebody to talk about that too. Is it a good idea? It's a bad idea. Everybody is obviously different. Yeah, it started off as a joke, a hoax, but never think it would ever turn into anything. But so a million people, I think it's probably more than a million people at this time that are at least interested in it. There might be like, I don't know, there might be somebody's going to show up for that. That's for sure. So even if they block it off, it'd be still kind of interesting. Some people just want to get themselves known. So they want to do something in their lives, so that's certainly different. Not that they'll ever get anywhere with it, but you never know. Might turn into a yearly event too. It might be just people just show up there. Not necessarily going to ransack the place, but they'll just show up. So we'll just have to see what happens. It's like Burning Man. If you look up Burning Man, it's kind of like that. Just unconventional Burning Man. So another subject matter. Is about losing your powers, how you can use your psychic abilities, and how to gain them back. And a lot of people feel like they're blocked, not connecting to anything. So I have some insight into that before we go into it. Yeah, we'll see how far we can get. It is a subject matter that is bothering a lot of people, no doubt about it. Many people cannot connect. So those are new to all this. IvanTaller.com. We have private sessions throughout the week. You have a scheduler here. We have one at a channel. A Google Hangouts and channeling by phone. And Google Hangouts might be shifting to Google Meet, but I'll make that more known over time. We'll see what Google does. About 7 to 8 days for delivery time. Same situation here. The other channels and heroes I do recommend has Social Network and Awesomeness. Thank you for your support. I was going to post on those on Patreon. I mean, energy maybe tomorrow, maybe not tomorrow, maybe Saturday. Let's see. Maybe not Saturday. Saturday is a mentorship, and that's 2 hours. That's a long time. So I might put a theme park video up instead. I'm not gonna post the mentorship. We'll see if I have enough energy. First mentorship video, I didn't have zero energy afterwards, but of course that was the first one, so who knows? I think I sent out emails about it. I believe so. So those are the mentorship. You'll get an email, and you have the chats, and I'll be channeling somebody too. Maybe a couple of beings. It's a surprise. As a surprise. Surprise is not a surprise anymore, so should be interesting. Okay, how to lose your powers. Obviously, if you're a warmonger taking over the universe, your psychic ability is probably not going to work so good in the next lifetime. Yeah. So if you have a lifetime where you can connect to everything and you end up abusing it, especially those that are currently in this timeline that are channelers and healers that are manipulating others, especially the ego thing. Oh, I'm just the greatest thing since sliced bread. I don't think you're doing yourself much favors with that, but more power to you. So it's a warning. It's like, here's a bunch of power. Oh, you're abusing it. We just took it away. So, and a lot of times to regain your abilities is suffering. Is like a lot of people here are going through a lot of blockages. They can't connect. Not to say you're a warmonger or anything in the past. You might have been some kind of situation where you feel like there's a lifetime where I was able to connect and now I can't connect to anything. there's different reasons for that. Not everybody is taking over the universe, but some had their ability. Sometimes you gotta abuse it to do something good, and you still get penalized for it. It's like sometimes you need to tap into somebody's energy, know what the hell they're doing, whatever, do a prediction for somebody, save somebody's life. It's like, okay, I just broke the rules. I just broke that person's energy space, and then you pay for it. It does happen. You might not pay for it in that lifetime, you might pay for it in another lifetime. And some people might feel that. It's like, I probably did a lot of things I shouldn't have done, but it was for the greater good, and that does exist. But it does not mean you're not going to have karma from it. It's just the way it is. So some people probably feel that way. It is now there are others that are, super clear. Everybody loves them. Nothing wrong with that. Obviously, they were not a warmonger in their other lifetimes. Yeah, well, brag all you want. It does have its benefits. Well, it's like a lot of the artists, a lot of creators, as we talked about through the radio shows, is like that is where you think all this art stuff comes from. It comes from maniacs, basically. Stories, at least. Now, Shakespeare, I don't know. Shakespeare is kind of like a fruity kind of, I don't know. He's like a reporter, creative report. I don't know. He was just a thing of his time. I think a lot of it's overrated, but even in some of my stuff I write, I sound Shakespearean. It depends on what hell I'm working on. It's like, sounds very Shakespearean. It's like, what the fuck? And it wasn't called Shakespearean back then. It's called Old English, but because he's a famous one. So, like Shakespeare was just a popular one of that time, and just kind of, I believe, overrated, depending on what you're talking about. But either way, it's there are other. That's history for you. So, there's a lot of blockages in creativity at this time. As you can tell, the movies are kind of bland and kind of the same thing. Not all of them are, but quite a few of them are. The major ones are. There's just a lot of blockages, but they are talking aliens, and it is going into a new direction. So, it's not all, they can't go into full details. A lot of filmmakers aren't ready to take the chance, but we are going into a renaissance of an alien awaken eventually. And that's where the eye, like the way they show like pictures of like you're opening up your eye and it hurts, like blood's everywhere. Yeah. So it's going to be gradual. Yep. Sometimes you need images to awaken. Obviously, books are okay, but when the movies start doing alien stuff, yeah, it's going to be painful at first, and then it'll be very painful at first, but when it really goes into the nitty gritty of what's going on, that's going to be a big deal. It probably won't get much attention, but over time it will. So, Close Encounters is kind of like that, but either way. Yeah, because a lot of the maniacs are, doing a lot of the art of today that people love. You gotta be crazy to do this shit, but you have to experience something nuts to create anything. Science fiction writers, a lot of them used to be robots in a past life. Was it Arthur C. Clarke used to be a robot in his past life? To give you some indication of it. Now, like horror writers or movie makers, I betcha many of them, not all of them, some of them have been demons in their past life. I mean, how do you tap into that shit? You had to be a demon of some kind at one time. So, and it's a way of healing. And it's connected to other people's and their dark side. And it does have a place in the universe, definitely. So, it's just, and some people that are super positive gotta get over themselves eventually because they think they're better than people that have been through hell and all that. It's not easy. It's not, because some of them they don't have it in them to be a warmonger, but some people have to do it. If it wasn't for war, the United States wouldn't be here. Of course, you have all the Indians, casualties, and all that. But well, is it positive and negative? I don't know. Is it progress? Yes and no. Probably mostly no, but anyway. Who knows? It's all created. I mean, this world is so backwards compared to other planets. Our universe is pretty backwards also. I noticed that this world is a reflection of the spirit world. It's also a reflection of our galaxy. That's why we have Britney Spears, Justin Bieber, stuff like I always mention Justin Bieber for some bizarre reason because it's just like what the fuck. So it's like give us the new version of the Beatles, or just give us mediocrity, whatever you got. So probably gonna burn for that one. But creativity is not always as exciting. There's blockages for various reasons. We're going into a transition that's going on for a while, into more of a metaphysical transition. Not yet, you don't have to label it, but it is kind of like a more spiritual transition. And it has many bumps in the roads, and that's why some areas are blocked, like some movies seem bland. They're giving you kind of the story, but not the full story for various reasons. So it's like channeling. You get some channel messages, but you know there's something more to it than that. So movie is a very larger size version of channeling, where you feel like there's more to it than that. Same with Star Wars, the newer, I guess the new one is, what the fuck? Okay, they screwed up the new Star Wars, but like the prequel Star Wars, there's probably a lot more to it than what is presented, just for example. So we're going into a new age this year. This is like a transition year for many people. Maybe not too dramatic, but it is. People's lives are going through a transition. Hopefully, we won't have the fires of California again. They've had enough of that, from what I can feel. But you never know. Hopefully not. Hurricane season here. Hooray. So, alright. But yeah, with powers, though, it's with psychic powers, a lot of people feel blocked for various reasons. I'll have to bring somebody in because I'm being blocked as I'm trying to connect to it. It's a lot of not always. Blockages doesn't always mean that you did something wrong. It just means that it's not time for the information that you have. So you might be trying to reach out for it and say, "Hey, I think it's time for this," and the other being saying, "No, it's not," and then you feel like you got an attack or something like that. So it's what are you put your intentions? What am I allowed to know? Is another way of whatever you're trying to reach out to. Of course, sometimes they might sugarcoat it. We're not. Yeah, we're going into a. Let's see here. As more people like Area 51, people are connecting to that, but they're allowing more of their spiritual side to open up too, because everybody here is an alien basically, and accepting that is not so easy because it's not part of modern day speech, conversation. Rick and Morty is showing that the aliens are watching the alien TV show, so those that are attracted to that are been in those realities somehow, somewhere. Some are just observing, but a lot of them have experienced those type of things, whatever it might be. A lot of it's astral, a lot of it is alien. Either way, it all exists somewhere. So, alright, let's see who. Okay, Archangel Michael is here, basically. Alright, one moment. Humans here are unblocking themselves slowly as you get to know more of yourselves. It's like looking in a mirror and you see another version of you. So you're connecting to other versions of yourselves, and yes, your realities. This is why some people feel like there's always more. Of course there is, because other versions of the earth that's fully awakened, and you can tap into that. It's just this one is taking its time. Yes, it's like a grandmother crossing the street, taking one little step at a time. It takes her 30 minutes to cross the street, something like that, or an old person for that matter. Basically, souls here have not finally found themselves. Many of you are opening up. See, what happens is many of you are getting information and the door shuts. It opens and closes. Oh, I got some information and it shuts down. That's going to be the new experience. You're going to get a glimpse of your realities, what you're tapping into. Yes, things Basically, your reality right now, as you see it, many of you feel like there's many multiple other versions, but it's a lot more advanced, a lot more friendly, and you're bringing those realities in. That's what makes this life so frustrating. Technologies, the person, even your DNA can be a lot better because in the next dimension, everything is clear. Your aliens see this very easily, and they commend all of you. I mean, they give your admiration to you all for experiencing this. Because this is, yes, a painful reality. There's much more you're capable of, but you can't quite access it. And this is the test, too. Patience is key to all of this. When you have problems with patience, it's like the more patience you give, the more you receive. The more you calm down, don't get so angry. Obviously, you're going to have moments depending on what it is. But either way, you add patience to your life, the more gifts you get. And this is how you get your powers back, too. It's patience. Now, obviously, with goals, you say, I want this, I want that, let's make it happen. I'm tired of being miserable all the time. Things take time there too, because some of that is karma you're going through, and some of it also is just the world isn't ready for you. Many realize that the world isn't ready for your high vibration, your breakthrough, your angelic self to break through and bring positive vibrations to everyone that's not ready for it. Now, one moment. Your Area 51 is a fascinating place because it is a linking point, is a timeline changer for you. Structures are known for that. Look at the World Trade Center. Once it's there, now it's gone. The world has changed. Area 51 will not go through that, but it's here to change your reality. Structures do this. Area 51 is similar to your temples of your past. Area 51 is a mysterious temple, as you can see, and forbidden. Same as your pyramids that used to be in the past also. So there is much going on. You're experiencing what your ancestors have experienced. And so you're like when you unlocked it, obviously you have not locked the pyramids quite. You have an idea more than your ancestors did. Many of them just said stay the hell away from that. I don't want to get possessed. Area 51, now connecting to the vibrations of it is key. Being there physically, that's up to you. Most likely it's protected, so getting close to that's not likely. But if you need to be there physically, that's up to you. But obviously, the more violence you bring, the more violence you receive. So it's like treat others how you want to be treated. That is where it really, really works. If you go there very nicely and say hello, you should be okay. You go there raging hell, you're going to get it right back. So it's up to you. It's a time of basically understand the vibrations of your planet. Area 51 plays a big role. As it it's a lock right now because the guards around it protecting it. One day in your future, you'll be going to that place like it's a museum. It'll be open to the public. And so that's what's happening. You're seeing a modern day temple and its power. And it has a lot of power, as you can see. And it's alien, which is no different than many of your monuments of your past, like India. And many of you have your myths also of India, the same as your Area 51. So it's been modernized, but it's the same thing. It's for you to learn from it. That's where your spiritual connections are so important. This is how you understand your reality. You're living not necessarily in the past, but the past is speaking to you. You've been here before. You've done this before. You go to one moment. Yes, places of Jericho in your past. There's a lot of alien vibrations there. Sacred areas that were forbidden. Yes, it was eventually torn down. Your Area 51 will go through that. Areas of Petra, same thing. A place of forbiddenness. There's a lot of ancient vibrations that are still formed to you today, but it's not open to the public. It wasn't always that way. So realize, yes, you're opening, and notice the desert regions of your Petra and your Area 51. And even your Babylon, that is now a desert region for the most part, with your Iraq. Same thing. Yes, a forbidden zone. For now. As it is also forcing many of you in a good way to open up your vibrations. It's testing you. What is there? Love and acceptance. What if you go there and see another version of yourself there? What if you go there and all of a sudden it's the 1950s again? It is a time portal. There are many things there. Now, not necessarily been the 1950s going there, but there is a lot of sacred energies in that place that wanted to be known. That's why it was brought out to the public. And the individual still survived. Because he's a messenger. Not all messengers get killed. Some need to stay alive to see the prophecies, to see how things turn out. So what you are here to do is know more about yourselves. Now, yes, your psychic abilities, many of you have shut down on purpose. Because you want to be like your average human. And that, of course, is hell on earth. Knowing that you can do more, and you're here as this primitive human, as you some see it as that way, is like, I know I can do the 12th grade, but I'm now in the 3rd grade, and this is hell. So, not to say you're better than ever, but you believe you understand where we're coming from. A lot of you, yes, connected to Atlantean crystals, connected too much, but it's like, where's the level of your earth? Where does it need assistance at? It needs assistance in the 3rd grade, not the 12th grade. 12th grade, everything is fine. 3rd grade is all messed up. That's what you're doing here. Many of you came here to lift the energy, say what is needed to be said. Yes, not always to be loved by everybody. Some have to just lay it out. While others don't, because others that do not lay out the full information are preparing those. It's like we're preparing you for the full meal. The meal might not be exactly what you're looking for, but it's something that you need. The meal is knowledge. The knowledge of who you are. You're unraveling yourself, correct? Isn't this what you're here for? Unraveling? Many of you have a glimpse and idea of who you are. And yes, seen as taboo, you're all seen as freaks, whatever it might be. But you kind of wanted the truth of it. It's going to be gritty. Because you want it to be real. If it's all smoke and mirrors and everything looks all feathery nice and pretty, much of your media already does that. Many of others do. Your Hollywood does it too to a certain degree. So sometimes you have to show your faults when you do channelings or spiritual work. Say, hey, look, I'm human. I have my faults. I'm not perfect. I have attitude problems. I'm happy. I'm sad. I'm this. I'm that. I'm everything. So if you put on this show, you make, and yes, it's not so entertaining, because people want to go to spirituality and just look at it like a TV show. Everything's pretty and nice, but to pull out the soul, to pull yourself out of yourself, pull out knowledge, you have to be down and dirty. Yes, get your hands dirty. Yes, show you have faults, because so many in your society of success. Look, we have no faults. Think again. It's a manufactured fault, if it is a fault. You look at your talk show hosts at night. Don't they all look nice and pretty in their little suits and everything? It's like yes, the 3rd grade. The 12th grade is gritty. It doesn't necessarily trying to be gritty. It's just you're being yourself. Being yourself on your planet, as you know, is not easy. Saying what's on your mind is not easy. It's impossible. Because many are putting on a show. Your society, you in society, is putting on a show for each other, as you know. You can't be yourself because the manipulators of your reality have packaged a human in your education system. This is where you need to be. If you're not what we call normal, you are a freak, you're an outcast, you're no good. It's been going on forever, as many of you know. You're here to basically unravel all of that and take the pain. And it's painful, but necessary. To be yourself is hell. That's pretty much the main message here. Being yourself is a living hell. You see any preachers say that? No, because they're all wearing prettiness and speaking well. They're not. Yeah, they talk about hell, but they're trying to stay away from it, whatever it might be. But for you to go, yes, to a church and talk about your alien belief systems, that you're from another planet, that you're a Zeta, that you're an Arcturian, but you're here for peace, not for war. How would your congregation look at that? Not very good, would they? Yeah, so pull out the pitchforks, basically. Yeah, so they say on witch trials have not restarted themselves. We're going to rename it to something else, though. You're not here to change anybody. You're here to be yourself. As many have found themselves through sexuality. And that's been hell also. It's hell to be a drag queen, transvestite, whatever it might be. It is very difficult. It's becoming more accepted, but it wasn't always accepted. And I hear you're bringing that form of alien into your mainstream. It's obviously why many are not speaking out for your own health. You don't want to be attacked. As they call it, brainwashing. Coming from a society that is of brainwashing, where your society is the fundamental definition of brainwashing. Because once again, how can your average human say everything that's on their mind with good intentions? I don't like that color. I don't know why you're wearing that dress, or why you looking this, why you wear makeup. You're beautiful without it. Sometimes those words are heresy. That is the challenge of your planet, is being yourself. It is forbidden to be yourself, as you know. Forbidden planet, forbidden knowledge. Because more of you are opening yourselves up. Talk about Arcturians, alien beings, angels, orgies in space, whatever it might be. With that speaking, more knowledge comes out, such as Atlantis, Lemuria, where you're heading, your future. Other alien beings can speak their mind, but not always. They have challenges too. But yours has the most challenge. Because you have systems set up to keep you from being who you are. It's like you wrap you up. As you're growing up, you're open, but as you grow up, you're being closed. As a kid, you want to say anything, right? Oh, I see an imaginary alien being or an imaginary person here. But your parents shut you down. Imagine a world where that does not exist anymore. Yes, you might seem crazy to everybody else. Just I'll let my kid talk to a stranger being that they see, a parent of their past that might be with them, whoever it might be. Yeah, seeing it as crazy for a night now, but then you see what is called normal today is restricted, shut down being. This is why, as you know, society is not allowing Atlantis to come in, because you're told to shut up about it. Society is told to shut up about everything. Aliens, angels, that you can connect, yourself can connect, anybody can. Yes, we might be telling you stuff you already know, but sometimes we need to reintroduce old ideas. Because many have come into your world to keep you on this track of not knowing yourself. Those days are coming to an end. Yes, it's slow, but it is coming to an end. Your alien information is being laughed at slightly, but it is being taken more seriously. It is in your mainstream. Area 51 found its way into your mainstream. It's going to continue to do that. It's a key word. It's here to actually unlock you from the third dimension. Keywords are there to shut you down, and other keywords are there to open you up. Area 51 is actually there to open you up. Now, it might shut down some people because they get scared. Or because when they laugh at it, they actually shut it down. But many of you are intrigued by it. It doesn't mean those events are going to occur, but realize one day you'll be able to walk those grounds and say hello to those that are working there and not have any negativity there. And that's the key. That's when you start unlocking knowledge all the way around. Your military, there's always going to be some kind of military presence here, but they become more friendly and more friendly over time. Not pansy, not selling out, friendly to the human race. Yes, that might be a pipe dream for many, but it does exist. It can exist, and there's too many agendas right now, as you can see. But eventually, humanity is going to calm itself down. Now, does it need a gun? Some do. Your England's being heavily, your London's being heavily manipulated. Well, allowing people to defend themselves because they're taking away their freedoms, basically. You should be able to do whatever you want. If you need to protect yourself, go protect yourself. If you don't feel like you need to protect yourself, that's fine too. It's like they're kind of they are controlling society. So America is going through a chemical warfare, as you can see, more than other countries. See, other countries, they take away freedom, such as London, take away rights to bear arms, but they give you healthy foods. They let the people be healthy to a degree, but they don't want you to defend yourself. Russia, healthy food for the most part, not all of it, but it's healthier. But you don't have free speech. China, same thing. Free speech gone, healthy food, have a nice day. So there are setbacks here and there, as you can see. So you're here to unlock your planet. Takes one day at a time, as you can see. So our message, just be yourself. Your intentions, obviously your intention to be, I just want to say whatever's on my mind, and your guides are saying, that's okay. Be careful, because when the people that you tell your information to are usually not ready for it and be terrified. That's the last thing you want to do is terrify people. That doesn't help in conversations. You want to grow a conversation instead of shut yourself down even more. It's like I already was reluctant to talk, now I'm really reluctant to talk. So when you're comfortable with talking to somebody and say, hey, talk to this person about aliens or angels, then it's a smooth ride. Yes, patience, yes, is a bitch on your planet, but necessary for you to get out of this situation. At least you get more of an idea of where you're heading. Some might call it BS, but try rushing and you see yourself get nowhere. So you're kind of forced to be patient. But at least you know there is a more positive direction. As for your new earth, that's up to you. Many want to there's always going to be a different version of your future. Yes, make it a good one, of course. Blessings. Thank you, Margaret. Alright. Hopefully that was helpful. Alright, take care, everyone. Blessings. Hopefully that recorded alright. Sounds alright. Everything's okay. Alright, take care. We'll be back tomorrow at Neutron and Absolute Insanity. Take care.